Meanwhile, Israel and the Palestinian group Hamas have now been at war since early October after Hamas gunmen launched an unprecedented attack on Israel from Gaza, the deadliest in Israel's history. Meanwhile, Israel's ambassador to India has said that the 7th October attack was possibly the worst day for Jews since the Holocaust. He has said that Hamas has tried to kill Israelis around the whole world. He has also said that meanwhile, a bomb that had exploded in the back of the Israeli assembly was also by the same quote-unquote evil people. He ended his note by saying that they will make sure that Israel becomes a safe haven for Jews once again. Other than that, he has also spoken about India's position on Hamas, wherein he said that India was in fact very strong against terrorism in its parliament. He also said how they were very appreciative of the Indian government for its support. The ambassador has further said that hope remains and that for that he is thankful to India. Let's quickly now listen in to what he's actually said.
So, October 7 was the worst day for Jews since the Holocaust. In a few hours of invasion into 30 communities, civilian communities, more than 1,200 people were murdered, raped, mutilated, terrible tortured, terrible atrocities, and more than 200 were kidnapped. Now we have still 136 abductees in inhumane conditions in Gaza. When it comes to the Indian position, India was very strong against terrorism from the first moment. Prime Minister Modi in the afternoon of October 7 already came out with a very strong condemnation. We are much appreciative for the Indian government for its support from that time on. And you heard the External Affairs Minister's words, which are very clear. But this is not the only support we get from India. We get an incredible support from the Indian people. Wide support, we feel it all around, and it's very important for us. As I said, we are going to win, but when you have support and friendship from countries and peoples, at least it makes you feel that there is still light at the end of the tunnel, there is still hope.
Wing Commander Praful Bakshi with us on the broadcast. Wing Commander Bakshi, Israel once again extending its thanks to India for all the support that India has given in the past few months. But at the same time, the Israeli ambassador there once again trying to remind the world of what a dark day it was for Israel, those first few days of the October 7 attack by Hamas.
Yes, Devika, you are very right. Ambassador Gilon, a statement cannot be, there can be nothing more than this, what he has said. Let me tell you, Devika, let me take you back now to the First World War. Israel is indebted to us since then. I don't say that we want to put them under debt, but it is the Indian soldiers, the Jodhpur Lancers, which rescued and defeated the Germans and the Turks in Haifa and released it for Israel, for the Jews. And that is what they remember it. They celebrate the Haifa Day. May not be celebrated in India, but it is celebrated there. A special monument is there for Jodhpur Lancers and the officers, the Major Dalpat, who laid his life out there. As what now the Ambassador Gilon is saying, they are indebted to us. I told you how we looked after the refugees. A number of Jews which have gone and settled in Israel from India it's a very large, remarkable number, and they all know it. India's heart will always bleed for Israelis because Israel has stood for the truth, and they never indulge in what the other side indulges. They respect humanity, and India stands by this. India stands by its the basic statement of Vasudev Kutumbakam, that is an international statement accepted by all. And that is what Ambassador Gilon is now explaining to us. Ambe.
Absolutely. At the same time, Wing Commander Bakshi, where do you think the war is really headed at this point in time? Because we're at the end of January now. This war started in the beginning of October last year. It's already been almost now 4 months as the war continues and more information continues to pour out of Palestine, wherein even just last evening we were told that there was an attack on a Palestinian hospital where 3 terrorists, as Israel calls them, have been killed.
Absolutely right, Devika. I must tell you that this aspect of war which you are talking of, when the war has an objective, say a war has a limited objective, then you know when it's going to finish. But when the war comes on ideology and the support of the people, and it becomes a religious ideology and is spread through religion, religion is the biggest accentuator of war. The religion has created maximum wars in the history of humanity. You know very well. That is what is going on. Some of us are very shy in accepting it. That is all. But that is what is going on. You cannot think that it's going to be over by next 3 months or 4 months. No. It may again flare up because they want to take advantage of the area by religious domination. And that is what is very harmful for us. And this is what is going to happen. So, Devika, I personally feel it will take extremely long. There has to be a change in the approach of the world leaders, and they have to come and control the religious-based terrorism. Once you control that, thereafter you'll find the control taking place. And China and other countries are taking advantage of it. Other countries will take advantage whether they are involved religiously or not, because they gain what do they gain? They gain the trade rights, they gain the rights on the sea, they gain, Zar and Zameen, as they call in Hindi, in Sanskrit. That is what they gain, and that's what they will do. So I personally feel it will take a very, very long time because this war is different. But countries are looking at India. That is what is coming out of it. India's stand is absolutely clear. Whichever way you look at it, Devika, the statement of India counts a lot. Everybody, either who appreciate India, look at us, and those who don't appreciate our ideas also are bothered about us. So this aspect is become a universal. Your question which you have asked will continue to be asked because at the moment there is no light in the end of the tunnel. Nobody can see that.
Right, absolutely. So stay on with us as we shift our focus from Israel to some other important developments as well. All right, we have Ambassador Suresh Goyal also with us on the broadcast. Ambassador Goyal, if you could perhaps shed some light on where you feel, sir, this particular conflict between Israel and Hamas is now headed, given that it's entered its fourth month of the war.
A good question, Devika, and I heard the comments made by General Bakshi before me. It's a good question, really, in the sense that I do agree that when the war began October 7, it began with certain action by Hamas, which is totally beyond comprehension and which broke whatever kind of tenable, fragile peace we had in the Middle East. It broke through that peace, and we have the region flaring up. This is a war now which is not just limited to Gaza. You have Houthi joining in. Red Sea is again on the boil. Hezbollah is coming in. There are different countries which are becoming part. And I think there was one American senator who said that unless we are able to control what is happening in Middle East, there is a possibility, there is a fear of the war spreading further. Therefore, I think, while I do understand and appreciate the remarks made by the Israeli ambassador, there is a need to control their actions. Frankly, what is happening in Gaza, there have been several remarks made by not just the other parties, but even the United Nations. President Biden has shown his desperation because Netanyahu is not accepting the two-state solution. He keeps on thinking of Gaza only in terms of security, without really thinking of the suffering that people are going through. So I think we need to have a larger view of what is happening there. India is contributing for the humanitarian assistance. This humanitarian assistance should continue, but at the same time, there has to be an action to bring more durable peace in the region. Two-state solution can be talked about. Qatar is in the field. So I think, on the whole, it's a very big question. But there is an end, there is a need to now end the war and come into talking about a political solution in the region.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.